Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope that you are enjoying a little rest, a little relaxation, a little rejuvenation today. It's a beautiful day, and that always helps, right? I am enjoying a little downtime in my backyard. That's like one of my favorite places to work, to write, to be creative. Good morning, Lisa. And so I just love sitting back here. This is like my little piece of tranquility that just lets me breathe and refocus, and it's a great little spot. I hope you guys have a little spot like that for you. I've been wanting to come live the past few days, but just felt the pressing in my heart to just kind of not do any kind of promotion, just to create some space. And so decided to come on today and just share with you a few things. So in the caption of this video, you see one of the biggest pitfalls for women that prevents them from losing weight is ... We're going to talk about that today, and then we're going to talk about how you can correct it. And then if you listen into the end, I'm going to explain to you how I can help you with that. So if you are wondering what is one of the biggest reasons why it's really difficult for women to lose weight, the answer is inflammation. Okay, so inflammation appears in our bodies in one of two ways. There's acute inflammation, like when you have a sprained ankle, you injure yourself, your body's natural response is to just create inflammation to protect the body, protect the injury. And then you have something called chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation is the bad kind of inflammation that just causes a whole lot of health problems. And it happens for a few reasons. So one type of way that we get chronic inflammation is just heredity. It's our genes, it's our genetics, but we can reverse that by implementing some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you now. The second thing that causes a lot of inflammation, and this is the primary reason, is we have been living a life of eating processed foods that are bad for us. And if there's one thing that you can take away from today's video, is you need to know that inflammation is the source of every single disease that we have. So every single disease that is known to man is caused by inflammation in the body. We're going to talk about things that are causing inflammation, but let's also talk about like stress, right? Stress causes inflammation. If you have a very heavy workload or at work, or you're wearing multiple hats as mom and wife and employee or business owner, it's stressful trying to manage all that and navigate that. Maybe there are relationships in your life that are just challenging and difficult, and it's not easy to navigate. That stress produces cortisol, and cortisol is the hormone that causes us to gain belly fat. So it's very, very important that you manage your stress levels so that we keep that cortisol at bay. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Kelly. All right. Another source of stress is over-exercising. I am all about fitness and wellness, but you can do too much of a good thing. So if you're doing like especially long distance running, where you're like logging in 12-mile runs multiple times a week, that is very taxing on the body. And so your body is going to produce more cortisol because of that. So it's very important that you are including forms of exercise that challenge your body differently, that is going to help you build muscle, that is going to help you with stress relief, but that's not overdoing it. Maybe you have a situation where you have a lot of young children at home, or you're caring for your aging parents. And so again, it's stressful trying to do all the things. Hey, Maggie, you are looking amazing, girl. So proud of you. That also will raise your cortisol levels. So let's go back to the primary cause of the primary cause of inflammation, and that is your diet. So you guys, I am super, super passionate about the phrase, your refrigerator can be your medicine cabinet, and food is your medicine cabinet, as much as it can be the cause of having to take medication. So if you're watching what you put in your mouth, and if you have inflammation, if you have autoimmune issues, you are going to notice that your body is responding favorably as you reduce inflammation. So let's talk about some of the things that cause chronic inflammation in the body when it comes to food. Number one, dairy. Dairy is one of those foods that's super inflammatory for a lot of people. So if you can look for ways to swap traditional dairy with almond milk, coconut milk. There are cheeses that you can get that are non-dairy. And I don't consider Greek yogurt and kefir dairy because they're very fermented. They don't have the lactose that is what is usually the cause. So look at ways that you can upgrade your dairy. Eating a lot of fatty red meat also causes a lot of inflammation in the body. So can you substitute your traditional beef with grass-fed beef? That's a good way to do it. Same with ribs, burgers, ground beef. Now, I'm not saying don't ever enjoy it, because I like myself a good picnic and I like to nosh on a good rib, but just don't make it something that's in your diet on a regular basis. Hey, Ashley. All right, margarine. Margarine is like toxic on all levels. One good way to upgrade that is to eat grass-fed butter. So instead of using margarine, you're putting some grass-fed butter on your corn, or if you are sauteing something, you can use some grass-fed butter with that. How about cured meats? Okay, so that's things like traditional bacon or hot dogs or lunch meat. It's really important that you are avoiding those types of things as much as possible, and instead replace it with things like tuna. Instead of lunch meat, make an egg sandwich or a tuna sandwich. Try to make sure you are swapping those things out with grass-fed beef, grass-fed poultry, fish, other things that are going to be a good replacement for those traditional cured meats. All right, the next thing, too much alcohol. Some wine a few times a week is good. Like, you should really try to limit your alcohol to 3 times a week. Too much of it causes inflammation. And if you are going to enjoy a cocktail, look for something that has no syrupy additions to your cocktail. So FYI, a lot of my clients are excited because I'm going to be doing a little series every other week where I'll be sharing some clean cocktail recipes that are upgrades. Remember, you still have to limit it. Just because it's clean doesn't mean you still can overindulge, but there are better options that are going to help with reducing inflammation in the body. Another one, vegetable oil, traditional vegetable oil, canola oil. Those are really, really high causes of inflammation. So something that you can do instead of using that vegetable oil is swap it out for olive oil and avocado oil, coconut oil, walnut oil. Those are great sources of healthy fats that are going to help ditch the inflammation in your body. All right, one of the biggest culprits is additives. So when you are in the grocery store and you're in those center aisles, anything in a box, cereal, crackers, anything in a box, cake mix has additives in it to have better shelf life. And so it's really, really important that you are not using boxed foods on a regular basis. Yeah, the occasional is okay, but try to ditch those boxed foods, those packaged foods for whole food alternatives. So instead of traditional potato chips, try doing a kale chip. Or instead of pretzels, try roasting some garbanzo beans and have some roasted chickpeas. There's so many wonderful upgrades that will help you satisfy your cravings that are gonna be anti-inflammatory, okay? Another thing, and this is the biggest one, is sugar, okay? And yes, for sure, the white processed sugar is the biggest culprit, but you also have to be aware of other names for sugar, like sucrose and dextrose, maltose, lactose, fructose, and look for ways to upgrade that, like using pure maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, stevia, monk fruit sweetener. There's really great alternatives that are kinder on your body, and they're going to prevent the inflammation. All right, another one, refined carbs. Refined carbs basically is when you take the fiber out of something and you strip it away. So there's nothing in that carb that is beneficial to your gut. We want to have the whole fruit. So like instead of having fruit juice, you want a whole piece of fruit. That whole piece of fruit is loaded with fiber that's going to help with your digestion. Same with flour. So processed flour is stripped away of anything that has the fiber in it. There's no outer hull. And so our bodies need the fiber in order to stay healthy. So avoid those refined carbs. Fiber, in addition, is one of the things that your gut needs to stay healthy. We'll be talking about that in a second, but it's super important for promoting fullness. We want to stay full. It is helping our gut health. Things like beans, whole grains, whole fruit, all of those things are good sources of fiber. All right. Avoid things like refined grains that you find in traditional pizza, cereal, and white bread. Instead of traditional pizza, I put my pizza on a cauliflower crust or a gluten-free crust. Instead of traditional cereal, I have a quinoa bowl or eggs, or I have homemade granola that's got oats and nuts and seeds in it. Instead of white bread, I might use Ezekiel bread. So there's so many things that you can upgrade that are going to help reduce the inflammation that is causing you so many problems. So we talked about gut health. Gut health is also one of the causes, poor gut health is one of the causes of inflammation in the body. So if you are looking at reducing inflammation, paying attention to your gut is one of your first priorities that you should make. So thinking about gut health, you should consume a lot of prebiotic-rich foods. Those are foods that feed the probiotics in your stomach. So those are things like onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, barley, oats, apples, raw cacao. And then you also want to be consuming probiotic-rich foods. Probiotic-rich foods are fermented foods. So it's going to be things like sauerkraut, my all-time favorite, apple cider vinegar. The French toast with Ezekiel bread is such a great option, upgrade to traditional French toast. You're right, Maggie. Dark chocolate, dill pickles, olives cured in brine, kombucha, kimchi, Greek yogurt, and kefir. So I make my own kefir, I make my own kombucha. Those are staples that I have every day that are helping my gut health, which in general is going to help reduce and fight inflammation in my body. So how do you know if inflammation is in your body? What are some of the symptoms? Well, I would say weight gain or resistance to lose weight. You feel like you've been doing the same thing over and over, like for the last 10 years, and all of a sudden it's not helping. The exercise that you're doing or the diet that you're on is not allowing you to lose the weight. So weight gain or inability to lose it is a symptom that you might have too much inflammation in the body. Fatigue, you're always tired. You cannot get enough energy. Brain fog, you are really unable to focus or concentrate. You forget things easily. You don't know what day it is. I know the pandemic has not helped with that, but brain fog in general is a sign of inflammation in the body. And joint pain. I know a lot of my clients who have made these healthier alternatives that maybe have had a little backslide, that introduced some inflammatory foods back into their diet. One of the symptoms that they experience right away is joint pain. They're achy. They are not recovering as well after their workouts. And if you feel like joint pain is something that you are experiencing more than normal, it can absolutely be a cause of having too much inflammation in the body. So how does inflammation cause weight gain? Well, number one, it increases insulin resistance. It causes insulin resistance. And when you have more insulin resistance, Ash, you are going to store more fat. So just in general, if you are resistant, you are going to store more fat. If you have inflammation, it could cause more stress. And we talked about how the hormone that is produced when we're in a stressful situation is cortisol. So if we have more stress in our life, we're going to produce more cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone that creates belly fat. So automatically we just feel like we've got that muffin top, that tire that's not going away. It can affect your leptin levels. Leptin is the hormone in our body that tells us that we're full. It says, okay, you've had your meal, you're not hungry anymore. If your leptin levels aren't working, if they're out of balance, then your brain, the hypothalamus, is not able to communicate that, oh, I've had enough to eat. And so it's messed up. You're not getting the message. And so we just keep on eating. So it's very important that we are controlling our leptin levels. That is helped by eating foods that are going to reduce the inflammation in your body. And inflammation in general causes hormone imbalances. Hey, good morning, Gary. Hormone imbalances is what so many women, especially women after 40, are experiencing. Part of it is because we're aging, and so our ovaries are producing less estrogen, which causes hormonal fluctuations. But it's also because our lifestyle changes a little bit. What we thought we were doing really well in our 30s, maybe we just are not as active as we used to be, or we've started to enjoy a few extra glasses of wine throughout the week. And there's just different factors that play into what is creating hormonal balances. All right, so let's transition, because for me, when I see that someone is experiencing a lot of inflammation, and I also know that inflammation is one of the root causes of hormonal imbalance, I want to help them fix it with their fork. So let's transition to talking a little bit about how I'm helping my clients improve their bodies and their health by reducing inflammation, which is then going to help balance your hormones. So I am super passionate about helping women just step into loving their bodies by creating a healthy lifestyle, but also by eating foods that are going to heal their bodies of chronic inflammation, and that is going to help balance your hormones. I've been training women for 20 years. The last 4 years, I've added online boot camps to my programs, and I'm super excited because I've created a membership that is going to give you tools that you can use right now that are going to help you make progress. And I want it to be so simple and so clear that you're going to make progress no matter what, okay? So I understand that all different levels are coming into my program. I'm gonna help them take simple action steps. They're gonna help them look better, feel better, sleep better, reduce inflammation, balance their hormones, and create a life they love. My membership is going to be composed of 3 main things. Every month, we're going to have some core content, and that core content is designed to help you make progress. So you're gonna get workouts, the right kind of workouts that are going to build muscle so that you can burn calories while you're resting. It's also going to incorporate metabolic workouts like HIIT that are gonna help boost your metabolism so you burn more calories after your workout is over. It's also gonna include workouts that help with strength, flexibility, and balance like Pilates and yoga and bar. So you are feeling restorative motion as well as those days when you are taking it up with your heart rate. And it's also going to include stretching that just really helps you lengthen and elongate those muscles. The second piece that you're going to receive every month is a meal plan full of these types of foods that are helping reduce inflammation. And you know that inflammation being reduced is going to help your hormones get balanced. So you're going to feel better, you're going to have more energy, you're going to sleep better, you're going to look better, your confidence is going to be raised, your skin is going to be glowing, and you are going to love the body you live in just because you're changing the food that you're putting on the end of your fork. The third thing that you're going to get is thematic content, and thematic content will change every month based on the topic of the month. And so this is helpful information that's designed for women our age, women over 40 that are trying to navigate how to lose weight, how to show up as your best self. And so the thematic content some months will be weight loss challenges or fitness challenges that are designed to help you grow in your fitness and your strength, asking you to get uncomfortable, reaching a certain goal. Other months, it might be centered around nutrition, so a detox of sorts, or how to get more greens on your plate, how to quit sugar. Other months, it's going to be all about how to show up feeling our very best at our current age. So ways that we can reverse the aging process as women over 40. So we'll highlight what it looks like to take care of our skin after 40, how to dress for our body type, how to dress with more confidence, how to apply makeup for women over 40. So that's all about aging gracefully. And the fourth type of theme or content that you'll get is thematic content that is educational. And an example of this is the one we're starting off with. So we are kicking off the membership with a deep dive into hormones because I get so many messages in my inbox from women that are struggling with the additional weight gain that they just can't seem to kick right now. And so we're going to address hormonal imbalances. What does that look like? And then every week we're going to break down the main hormones that affect our body as we are aging, how to recognize if we have a hormonal imbalance, and then what foods and supplements we should be taking to correct the situation. It's going to be powerful, and it's all done in a group that is committed to making progress. So there's no judgment. Everybody's excited. We are like-minded, and that fitness and health is something that we're striving to do better at. And so I want to invite you to join us. It starts tomorrow, which means today is the last day to register. And once the doors are closed, they're not going to open again until October. So basically, if you snooze, you lose. I want to help as many women as possible. And so I've priced it so incredibly affordably. It's $37 a month. I know that the pandemic has been unkind to a lot of families. I want to be able to help you with that. And so for $37 a month, that's just like a couple of cocktails out with your spouse, or it's going to Starbucks a few times less. It's like challenging you to like, hey, yeah, I'm ready to invest in my health. You're going to get grandfathered in at that price if you sign up now, because the next time it opens, it's going to be more expensive. So I encourage you to take advantage of it. I encourage you to say, you know what? I am excited about aging and loving my body and learning what I can do so that I am being proactive. I am taking action. I'm going to be held accountable, and I'm going to do it in a great community that's centered around progress. So I will post the link if you are interested in the membership. You cannot wait. It is the last day. We start tomorrow, and there's some great tools in there that I'm giving everybody to get started that is just going to help you with your initial get started journey. But I hope you have an amazing Sunday. I hope you learn to love healthy food that just helps your body look and feel amazing. Here's to loving the body you live in on this beautiful Sunday. Bye, you guys.